Oh man, you guys, I feel like total Badusi today. Not doing so hot. But the show must go on, that's what they say. So let's get this show on the road, I suppose. It's post-Thanksgiving weekend. We're back in the shop. Today is Fun Monday. Call it Fun Monday for fun. Get it? Fun Monday? Because it's better than having a case of the Mondays. It's all about attitude inside of the Crane Branium. So I'm trying to have a good attitude here while I suffer from the Mondays with a mild influenza type illness in my upper nose trails. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do today. This isn't a very planned out or organized type of episode. We're continuing the stripping, tearing down issues or project on this Duramax. And I've come to a conclusion. See, the last video on this, I was talking about adjusting or addressing the fatal flaw on the crankshafts of these D-Maxes. You see that little pin right there? That little pin is the only thing that locks in the crankshaft gear. Now, on the inside, there's another gear that runs the timing gears and the water pump and the CP3 pump. That pin on the crank gear inside of the cover also has, well, it also has that little pin there. I misspoke. But there's another pin on that other gear in there, and that's the one that really shears off. And when it happens, it blows the engine up and destroys it and ruins a very expensive piece of equipment. Now, I would like to address that while I'm in here, because as I have stated previously, I intend to build out this Duramax to about 700 horsepower, maybe 650. I'll probably start it off at like a 550 horse tune, and then we'll step it up as I see fit. But anyway, it's going to get turned up. So I have some concerns about encroaching on the 700 horsepower threshold. One of those concerns, of course, is those crankshaft pins. The other concern is the pin on the camshaft, which is also very similar. And then my final concern is the firing order concern. See, due to the design firing order of this engine, as it finishes its final stroke, and I believe it's cylinder 7 that fires, it then goes to, I think, 2 and 3 or 1 and 3, or actually, hang on, let me pull out some visual references here. So there's our stock firing order for this Duramax. And we can see after cylinder 3, there we go, and after number 3, we then fire number 1 and then number 2. So when this engine's running, it's gonna fire 3, 1, and then 2 on that side. So what that does is it puts undue stress on the front journal on this crankshaft. And so having the 3, 1, 2 firing order can break a crankshaft, especially in the 650, 700 horsepower range. So I would like to take action to remedy the broken crankshaft problem as well. So what we're going to do, and I'm on the fence on this, and I'm trying to find an engine builder that can do this for me. What I'm going to do is we're going to pull this cam out and replace the cam with an alternate firing order cam. So going back to our little reference chart over here, if we swap out the cam, we can change the firing order from, it'll move, I believe, cylinder 3 to the cylinder 7 position, and then it should spread out. Let's see. Yeah, it moves, it changes the firing order. Like I said, I don't feel that great today, so my Crane Branium's not working. But what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to install this alternate firing order camshaft. So we're basically going to take all the stress from those front 3 cylinders, we're going to spread them out over the firing order, and then move them farther back onto the engine, and that's going to dissipate the load, so we don't have the load of 3 cylinders firing on one journal. It's going to spread it out over multiple different journals, and that's going to prevent future crankshaft breakages. So having said all that, since I'm pretty much doing a frame off restoration and I'm going to have to pull this engine apart to get the cam out of it, I think today I'm going to go ahead and pull the engine out of the frame, and then I'll get it over there on a crate or on a stand or on the floor or whatever. We're going to get this engine out today, set her down, and then that's going to give me a little bit more room to work with. It's going to give me space to clean up some of the surface rust. Gives me the opportunity to pull out these old tired motor mounts. And if you look over here at this one, I have discovered a broken motor mount. That one's busted clean off. Let me show you guys. So watch this right here. I'm going to take this 4-foot pry bar, and I'm going to get under this engine with this pry bar. We're going to try to pick this unit up. I'll show you guys. Come on now. Look at that. That thing's busted clean off. A little bit of pry action. and we're lifting. And curiously enough, I found there's no fail-safe or safety mechanism built into this motor mount. So if that thing breaks, there's nothing there to catch this thing from flopping around. So that also gives me the opportunity to change these mounts out. Oh look, I have some coffee from my darling wife unit. Hello, babe.
It'll keep your hands warm.
Is that it? Well, yeah, it's a little cold.
It's cold. It was 39 degrees.
39.
39 at 6:30.
That's impossible. I'm surprised we're all surviving.
About 50 now, but ooh, it's supposed to be colder tomorrow and colder the next day.
Yeah, I don't like the cold. Let's move farther south.
I saw frost on the ground.
You want to move to Cuba? It's warmer down there.
But then it also gets hotter.
Yeah, okay, we're not moving to Cuba. We'll stay right here. This is fine right here.
I like the sandwiches.
Coffee. They have good sandwiches. Actually, I don't think they have the pressed Cuban sandwiches in Cuba. I think that's an American Cuban iteration. Yeah, I think that's just made here and not down there. I don't know. I've never been down there to find out.
Well, let's go.
We can't go. The Navy says we're not allowed to go over there.
Oh.
Yeah, some communism or something. We're not allowed to go. I don't know. There was a bunch of Floridians that tried to bring a bunch of supplies down there a couple years ago. Remember that? They were having some kind of, like political upset, and a bunch of people from Florida were driving down there in our boats and trying to bring the Cuban stuff. And I think they were bringing Cubans back too.
Here, I hear the pups.
Uh-oh, puppies. Yeah, I told you we have no rhyme or reason or plan for this video today. What are the babies doing? Oh, the baby puppies. Hello, Mr. Kane. Look at you. Oh, goodness. And that's your sister. That's Crimson. She's a good girl. She's a pretty baby. Pretty. Oh, goodness. Look at you guys. They're good.
They're funny.
They finally stopped peeing on the floor.
Yes.
Mostly.
Oh,
yeah.
I love that.
That's horrible. Dog pee's not fun. Anyway, let's go find something to do. I'm going to get the engine stand out, I think, and we're going to yank this LBZ off the frame rails. That way I can paint the frame rails later. Yes, I am going to paint that. All this stuff's going to get painted. We're going to clean up all this nasty, get rid of all the lines and wires that are in the way, and we're going to spray this whole thing down after it gets pressure washed and de-rustified. All right, let's do some kind of work today. As much as I can. Like I said, I'm not up there 100%. It happens. But I think I can manage to pick this heavy thing up and get it off the frame rails. That'll give us something to do today, make some kind of progress, then I can feel good. I do not like non-productive days. I worked flat rate for too long in my life, and having a day where I don't accomplish something, it feels like an empty and lost day, and it's really not good. I wish it didn't have to be that way, but it is. Alrighty, since this motor's a big kahuna, we're gonna need some assistance with the leveling of the unit. So we got this engine leveling device right here. Basically just an Acme threaded rod with some stops on it, and we can adjust the rod in order to set the level of the unit while it's strapped to the engine. So let's roll this thing on over, get it in position, and we'll figure out where to hook it up. I believe I can hook it up in the back at the bell housing adapter, and then probably up front somewhere. I'm thinking maybe one of these bolts right here. We'll figure it out. Okay, so I think I have something of an idea on how to rig this. I'm gonna throw in this extra chain. I have to sneeze. Probably shouldn't publish that, but I don't care. Now what I'll do is I'll take this chain off the load leveler, right? Throw that down the valley, wrap it through, gravity. So now we've got a connection to both cylinder heads. See that right there? Pull that through a little bit. Let's let this down some. We need to get a little bit more down action out of it. Let's see here. Oh, that's tight. Dang. Yeah, that's either too tight or I'm just low on my strength. Here, let that down, just like that. Now we'll pick it up until it's no longer touching. Should be good. And we'll bring this one in. Get that out of the way. Bring this piece in and loop it right around there. So that's going to connect us on the front side. See how we're making like this Y right here? Then the back side, we'll connect it to like the bell housing or something of that nature. Yeah, like right there in the middle. Perfect. Let's take this bolt out. I'm going to use one of the transmission bell housing bolts. Goes right there. Need to lengthen this side. Take that apart. And then our plate can just go right into that bell housing. Oh, come here. All the way down. All the way down, much as I can. That'll be good. And then back through. Make it a little shorter. A little shorter still. Right there. Perfect. Connect that back to the little load bar deal. Excellent. Okay, so I think now maybe in a position to start the lift here. Okay, we're chained up in the front. We're bolted on in the back. I ran that bolt down and got it tight when you guys weren't looking. So let's take our bar here and we're gonna run this jack up. Okay, we're getting some lift out of her. Moving on up. Now the mounts are still bolted in, so don't get too excited here. Gotta get some lift out of this unit. See what we need to disconnect. No way. Both motor mounts are broken. Look at that. Look at this one here. That's busted clean off. So this engine was just like sitting in the cab. That's or on the frame. Yeah, that one's busted clean off, and we saw that one was already busted. Okay, let's unbolt the mounts. Grab the impact over here. Got 3 bolts that mount it to the chassis. Loud, clicky noises. Okay. Pry bar gravity. All right, that's a no-go on that bolt. And that one, we need a bigger gun. Little 3/8 baby gun's not gonna do it. What's his problem here? Yeah. Okay, need a bigger gun. Okay, trying again. We got an extension on the bigger gun here. This should take these guys out. See that motor move? Ooh, a little bit of warmth in there. We have friction. Is that too hot to touch? Nope. That's good. That one just busted off. Okay. Not worried about that anymore. Okay, that's one side. Let's get the other side. Let's get those bolts out. Ooh, hot. That one's not coming out. It's in there a little sideways. Oh, by the way, I was watching or reading some comments, and folks were asking if I had planned on fixing all these broken wire loom businesses. And the answer is yes, I am fixing the broken wire looms. I did this one the other day. It's been refreshed with new loom because I can't put this back together all nasty like. So anyways, that's kind of floating. I think it's free. Let's run her back up some, a little higher. There she goes. Pretty good. It's stable. Bent my little tab a little bit there, see that? But that's to be expected. I'm not concerned about such things. Oh, these do have a safety, the little hook on them. See that? Okay. Did you just make a noise? It just made a noise, I heard it. Anyway, that goes in the pile of parts. Get that guy out, back to the pile. And we need a little bit more up to clear the oil pan. And she'll be free. Looks like I'm putting in bushings up front as well. It's never ending. I'm gonna do the bushings on the front end, see that? Full restoration, guys, full restoration, and gals. I made a post telling everybody I wasn't feeling very well earlier. And I said, hey boys, and somebody was like, what the AF? What about the girls? And I'm like, come on, man, it's a figure of speech now. Just like when I said, come on, man. Just because I didn't specifically include one individual doesn't mean I'm specifically excluding one individual or one class of individuals. I'm not about class warfare, you guys. You should know that, and gals. Anyway, let's get this thing pulled out. Come on, baby. Come on with it. She's free. A little bit at a time. Hello, Dirty Max. It's dirty to the max. Okay. It's looking good. And I've got a crate over yonder. We can set it down on that. Hello, FedEx. Don't hit the top of the building. Dan, will you watch his roof right there? Make sure he doesn't hit the building. I think he's got it. They got insurance, right? Okay, it's out. That's one LBZ Duramax removed. Yeah, I've got to fix this wire business here. All that's got to get reloomed. All this, these ground wires, this has to get redone. All of it. Okay, let's let this big old honking piece of cast iron and aluminum down some for safety. See now, down here, this is why you don't make those super tight. Because if it's super tight and I have to put extra force into it to lower it down, I could break that tightness loose by mistake and then essentially just wide open throttle the valve and drop the engine. And that would be so, so bad. So it's still a good engine. It just needs built properly for extra horsepowers. Okay, I'm gonna roll this over here into the stack. Keep it out of the way, or the pile rather. Stick it over here for now. Alrighty, we're down to nearly bare frame here. I'm gonna go ahead, we need to clean off some of these pieces of hardware. Let's strip off these broken mounts right here. Let's get rid of that guy. 18 millimeters. I'm gonna roll this whole chassis outside and it's going to get pressure washed. Make it super shiny. So let's see this thing. Go down there. Let's get that other side. Circumnavigating a Chevrolet. Round and round. It's a long one. That's what she said. Okay. Come with me. There we go. Okay, she's stripped down. Excellent. I like it. Okie dokie. So, pretty much got everything cleared out of the way here. It is now time, I believe, to start rolling this chassis outside, and I'm going to pressure wash it. I've got a steering shaft connected to the gear with some vice grips on it, so I can operate the steering linkage, steer her straight ahead, and drive it out from under the rack. That would be the plan. Let's watch this here. Just get the wheel, give it a rock, and it should just start rolling right on out. Look at that. I'm watching up top, making sure it doesn't hit the lift. Yeah, we're coming out. She's a-moving. Now putting it back in the same spot, that's gonna be a challenge, I think. A big challenge. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. All right, we're getting into super tight squeeze territory here. So what I need to do is grab a hold of that steering shaft, and we're gonna steer this thing to its left, which is our right. And then after we steer that way, we can get the rear axle around all this pile of stuff over here, and then hopefully a hard right will bring it outside. And once it's out, I'll fire up that pressure washer. I had to go get some fuel for it. When we're out, we'll fire up that washer, get all the grime out of this unit, and then it'll be prepped for paint or undercoating, frame restoration. There we go. Slightly turned. Let's just roll it on out. It's clearing perfectly under the cab. You know, if this thing sits around so long, I could probably arrange just setting the cab down on top of the bed, and then we can roll it outside. That would be a feat of all feats. Look at that. Bet you never seen a truck looking like that before. Ha! Yep. Hang on here. Let me get mounted up. Yeah. All right, let's give her some. Nice and easy like. Oh. Here, I'll push my wheels. All right, slow down. I got to turn it. Keep creeping me forward real slow. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Turning, turning. Giving it some turn. Keep her going, keep her going. How's that right rear looking? Watching the lawnmower. Slow me down, slow me down, slow me down. Hard over. A little bit of forward. Cut it, cut it, cut it. Keep going, keep going. Hang on, we hit the mower. We gotta move the mower. Almost. Almost. There.
Your gasket might be in the way too there, sir.
Now I'll clear that. So, yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it looks good. Let me give it a walk around real quick. Let's go. Let's give it a walk around. Now we can clean up all this mess over here.
Oh, I know.
It's a huge mess. Let's see. Yeah, I think we can make it. This is gonna work. Yeah, I think we're good, guys. We're good. Okay, a little bit more forward. Take it slow. Watch how's that right rear? Right rear is good? All right, straightening out. Keep her going, keep her going. Yep, slow us down a little bit, slow us down. We're gonna bring it out right here into the gravel. Keep it moving now. All right, let her ride, we're good. That's it. Yep, that's it. All right, pressure washer time. Let's drag this unit out and get her fired up. See how squeaky clean we can get these frame rails. We get all that nasty stuff out, and like I said, we're gonna have this all painted. Oh, speaking of paint, let me show you guys something cool. I had the grill guard painted. It's almost like a rhino liner type of bed liner. See that? That's the whole grill guard. And I did the headache rack. That's the rack that goes in the back that protects the back windshield. So I had this thing sprayed over, all nice and rhino lined. And the same again with that headache rack right there. So that's super pretty. I like it. All right, let's see. We got power on and fuel is already on because I never turned it off. Turn the choke on. Let's give it a pull. Oh yeah. It's alive. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna hit all this, get all the rust out of here, all the dirt, everything in sight getting cleaned up, all the oil, grime, you name it, we're washing it. Holster that thing. Let's shut this thing off. Power down. Off. Alrighty. It's now nice and super shiny. Got rid of all the rust and crust and dirt. Okie dokie. So whenever this dries, we're gonna roll it next door to the paint booth. Sam's gonna paint this thing up just from the bed forward. We can pull the bed off of it later and then do the back side. So right now we're just gonna do the front side right here. Get all this painted, cleaned up, and then while that's happening, I think what I'll do is address the remainder wiring harnesses. See all this this brittle wire loom right here? All this stuff's gotta go. So while this thing is in paint, I can take all these harnesses and rebuild them. That way when the paint's done, I can get the harnesses all back into place. And at some point, I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do with that engine over there. And then once I figure that out, we'll drop that into place and then we can begin the reassembly phase. So this thing's coming along quite nicely. It's gonna be here for a while. This is gonna be an ongoing kind of deal. It got a little out of control like my projects always do, but it is what it is. While you're in there syndrome is real. So guys, I think that's about all for this particular episode. I don't believe I have anything more that I can offer you on this exact same video right here. So let me know what you think about this project in the comment section down below. Do not forget to engage that like and subscribe button while you're down there. And most importantly, I'd like to wish each and every one of you guys a fantastic day. See you guys later in a video into frame restoration, Silverado, into transmission.